Most people think that microgreens are just for salads, but that's only half of the story. What if I told you these greens could supercharge your health, upgrade your meals, and even help you grow food anywhere fast? Stick around because I'm about to reveal what nobody talks about microgreens right at home. And at the end of this video, I'll share one surprising way you can use microgreens that most people completely overlook, and it could change the way you think about growing microgreens forever. Hey, I'm Connor Hebel, founder of Amelia Island Microgreens. With 13 years of growing experience, we've been featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, the Florida Times Union, and we've helped thousands of people just like you successfully grow microgreens right at home. If you want to learn how to grow fresh, nutrient-packed food in just 7 days, you're in the right place. So microgreens are more than just a salad topper. They're supercharged with nutrition. Microgreens are up to 40% more nutrient dense than your mature vegetables. That's right, 40% more nutrient dense. That means that a handful of broccoli microgreens is more nutrient packed than a handful of mature broccoli. Isn't that incredible? And they're also great for gut health, inflammation, and boosting immunity. And you can find all sorts of studies, including studies from colleges, talking about how impactful microgreens can be for our health. They're also great for smoothies and juices. Toss your microgreens into a smoothie for instant nutrient boost, especially pea shoots and sunflower microgreens for protein. And the cool thing about this, when you throw them into your smoothie, you don't really taste them. The only couple that you will taste are your radish or your oriental mustard because they'll be a bit spicy. The only time I recommend adding those into a smoothie is if you want to have like a nice gingery kick. That's when you want to add a spicy microgreen in. Other than that, I would recommend sticking with your peas, your sunflower, broccoli, more mellow microgreens. And another great use for them is sandwiches and wraps. A bunch of different ways you can add your microgreens to sandwiches, and it's so good. So swap out lettuce for microgreens to add crunch, flavor, and more nutrients. And another thing you can do is cook with microgreens. There are two different camps on whether you should cook with them or whether you should just add them as a garnish on the top of your meal. In this video right here, I cover the difference, why you might want to leave them as a garnish, or if you really want to, you can cook with them. And one thing you can do to get away with keeping them fresh and having the nutrients while also adding them to your meals in a fun way is to stir them into your omelet, soups, or pasta right before serving so that you preserve the nutrients, which in the video that I mentioned, we'll talk about the difference in nutrients from cooked microgreens to fresh microgreens. And as long as you just have them as a topping and they're not being cooked, you're gonna keep the nutrients. So then another super fun thing is DIY microgreen pesto. Blend microgreens with olive oil, nuts, and garlic for a delicious nutrient-packed pesto. And if you'd like a video done specifically on microgreen pesto, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to create that. And if this is blowing your mind, let me know in the comments. How do you use microgreens beyond salads? Let me know because I love to hear how everyone uses microgreens because it's all a little different and we can help each other. If you find a recipe that is absolutely delicious, please share it. And if you find something that could be improved with a little bit of microgreens, I would love to hear it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a microgreen-packed video. And remember, in just a moment, I'll reveal one surprising way to use microgreens that most people never even think of. So let's talk a little bit about the sustainability benefits of using microgreens in your meals. Microgreens can be grown in small spaces, which is perfect for apartments, RVs, and even boats. Just a 12 by 9 inch tray is all you really need to get 6 ounces of microgreens. So that's really cool. 6 ounces of microgreens lasts you for quite a while because about 1 ounce of microgreens is a typical serving. And so it lasts you for nearly a week. And then you can just grow your microgreens again and you're ready to go. One fascinating fact is NASA has been using microgreens in space and they've grown microgreens up there. So if NASA can grow microgreens in space, you can grow microgreens too. And so another cool thing, it's a cost-effective superfood. Buying microgreens at the store, that is expensive. The prices just keep going up on that. However, growing them at home is a fraction of the cost. And with growing with a microgreen kit, we make it even easier to grow your food right at home easily and effortlessly. Another super cool thing, microgreens reduce food waste. Think about when you go to a store. There's so much produce there because, say, one day everyone just wants oranges. That store needs to keep up with all those people who are going to buy oranges. However, not everything's going to be as popular as that orange. There are going to be things that spoil because the store has to keep up with our demand. And unfortunately, there's quite a bit of spoilage there. Whereas with microgreens, when you grow your microgreens at home, you're growing enough food for yourself. So that way you're growing enough food just for yourself. So there isn't going to be a lot of waste when you grow microgreens like that. And you're harvesting only what you need, which is great because then you have a longer shelf life, unlike store-bought greens that spoil fast. And we're not using any gases to keep your microgreens fresh and alive. And that's really cool. You're in control of what goes on it. There's no pesticides, no chemicals, nothing that you don't want in your system. As well, they're kid-friendly and interactive. Parents love microgreens because they get kids excited about eating veggies by growing them themselves. In fact, I have a really cool story. When I started Amelia Island Microgreens, I was going to vendor fairs. And there was this kid there that had no interest in vegetables, none. Just wanted hamburgers and chicken nuggets, and that's it, no vegetables. So we were setting up, we were talking to him, and he was like, I want to grow the microgreens just for fun. I don't want to eat them, I just want to have fun with this. And so his mom got him the kit. It's a cool science project, even in and of itself. So he was growing the microgreens, and he was like, you know what, I'll try the microgreens. So he started trying the microgreens, then he started eating microgreens without being prompted to. And sooner or later, what ended up happening that is incredible, that kid started to eat vegetables. That is a kid that did not want to eat vegetables, that is now happy and willing to eat vegetables. So by getting kids invested in growing their own food, they are going to be more likely to eat it. And that is so huge. And another little cool thing about microgreens, if your kid is super picky and will not eat vegetables, you can use a dehydrator and dehydrate your microgreens, then put it in some salt and have like a little bit of finishing salt. That way your kid's getting nutrition from the microgreens without having any taste. You can barely taste microgreens in finishing salt, and it makes such a huge difference to be able to sprinkle a little bit of powder that's healthy on something that may not be quite as healthy. So that's a little bit of a smaller win that you can do too. And another thing, sustainability and impact. Microgreens use 98% less water than traditional farming, which is incredible because we need water to survive. If we're using a ton of water on something that we don't need to, that's not going to be good in the long run. Have you ever heard the saying that wars in the future are not going to be fought over oil, they're going to be fought over water? That is kind of concerning. And when you look at traditional farming practices, fortunately, recently, more and more farms have started to be more conscientious of how they're using water. And if you can grow microgreens, it takes at most 10 cups of water to grow your microgreens. So by growing them, you're reducing water waste. And that is really incredible. So if you're ready to take your microgreen game to the next level, join my free Microgreen Masterclass at AmeliaIslandMicrogreens.com/101. And you'll learn everything you need to grow microgreens successfully and fast. Okay, here's one surprising way to use microgreens that most people don't know. Natural skincare. Some microgreens, like sunflower and wheatgrass, are packed with antioxidants that help with skin health. Try blending microgreens into a face mask, or be conscious and add them into your meals, and that way you can get those benefits for glowing skin. Now that you know how versatile microgreens are, you might be wondering, how do I turn them into complete meals? Well, in my next video, I'm sharing simple, delicious microgreen recipes that you'll love. And your kids will love if they're picky too. Comment below your biggest takeaway from this video, or drop a question. I answer as many as I can, and don't forget to join my Microgreen Masterclass at AmeliaIslandMicrogreens.com/101, or click the link in the comments below. And this way you can master microgreens at home in 7 days. Ready to start cooking with microgreens? Click on my next video on the screen right now and I'll reveal how to make delicious microgreen recipes. As always, stay awesome. See you there.